from Worthen Arena. It's the season home opener against the Division III Franklin College Grizzlies, coming into Muncie to play the Ball State Cardinals, looking for their first win of the season. Good evening to you all. I'm Brayden Carroll, Griffin Leonard alongside Max Gilley roaming the sidelines with us. Griffin, big game for Ball State, trying to get on the win column.
Yeah, first time the men's team back here in Muncie in the 2024 season. Chance to show out in front of the home fans, and while it's a Friday night doubleheader here at Worthen, both teams will be at it, a chance to shine here at home.
And getting right into the meat of this matchup, let's look at our keys to the game, brought to you by Varsity House. Live bigger at YouGo Muncie Varsity House. What do you have for Ball State?
Ball State has the height advantage, right, Brayden? So they've got to enforce their physicality on this Franklin team, finding the open man, hunkering down low offensively, and make Franklin have to work for everything. You want to slow the game down if you're the Ball State Cardinals and make Franklin speed it up. And that's where the Grizzlies have to work today. They've got to be quick on the perimeter. They've got to control the pace of play, because the Grizzlies are going to be the smaller team, but if they can be the faster team and make the Cardinals uncomfortable with their pace of play, then Franklin has a good opportunity to be successful, because aggressiveness is their friend.
It's an interesting matchup between these two, but it's not the first matchup between Ball State and Franklin College. For more on the series history, let's go to our sideline reporter, Max Gilley.
Thanks, Brayden. When you think of historic Indiana basketball matchups, Franklin College versus Ball State may not be the first one that comes to mind, but there's a lot of history between these two programs. They first started playing each other nearly a century ago, and then they continued playing each other up until 1969. Now, this is the first time in nearly 55 years Franklin College plays Ball State. It should be a whole lot of fun. You can see these two historic programs face off again, Brayden.
Thanks, Max. Two historic programs. You know, how many people on this Ball State roster do you think know that this is a 1923 national champion Franklin squad?
Well, I know Coach Lewis does a lot of film review, but I'm not sure how much they're diving back into the history books. Maybe not that far, Brayden. But there's a lot of history in this matchup, and it's good to see some historical programs that have kind of been separated by the way the NCAA is formed, and they've gone in two different directions with their enrollment and just in athletics in general, but it's good to see them come back together. A classic matchup renewed here tonight at Worthen.
And you know, this is a big game for Ball State. You look at the rest of the schedule, they have Dayton, Indiana State next up, two teams that finished very strongly last year. This is a big tune-up game.
It's a tune-up game, and it's an opportunity to build some confidence, right? Because when you look at Monday against Georgia State, they were very much in that game with the opportunity to go and win on the road. They didn't get it done. This is a chance to get one in the win column before you head to a couple of really difficult and really defining non-conference matchups early on in the season. You look at a Dayton team that made some noise in the NCAA tournament one season ago, and Indiana State, who just missed out but had their NIT run and had one of the greatest mid-major seasons, at least that I've seen in recent college basketball history. A lot on the line for Ball State right off the gate here, but a good chance to kind of get to know themselves and for the fans to get to know the team before they get to those tougher matchups.
And we talked to Coach Lewis after the loss to Georgia State. He said he doesn't know what the strongest suit of this team is yet. This team is still trying to find its rhythm.
Well, they're still trying to find their rhythm, and it's because they haven't quite figured out how to play as a team yet. There's so much individual talent. I'm sure we'll talk about it as the show goes on here at Brayden, but there's so much individual talent on this team, and we could see flashes of it on Monday, but they haven't kind of figured out how to ball it all up and play as a group of five.
Jesse Morgan III and Peyton Sparks will be at the tip. Big day here at Ball State. Fan attendance was a must for Coach Lewis, and the fans have showed up for this one. Ball State wins the tip, and we're underway in Worthen. Peyton Sparks hovering around the mid-range. Hernandez back to Sparks. Good ball movement, open shot, Gorosito, he hits.
That's something to watch for early on, Brayden. You have Peyton Sparks, who gets an instant double team the second he takes the ball. That opens up a pass on the other side. Good vision, and Gorosito knocks down his first bucket here at home.
And taking a look at the starting lineups, brought to you by McGuff Roofing. Expert roofing service you can trust. This is a Franklin College team that's undersized, but Lynn King, Ryan Bostic, Jesse Morgan III, Flanagan, and Samples will be huge factors. They're a strong suit. And then you look at Ball State, the same starting lineup against Georgia State. Fat Hill, Mickey Pearson Jr., Juanze Gorosito, Peyton Sparks, and Jeremiah Hernandez out there. Pearson misses the three, and Franklin College with the board. Peyton Sparks double teamed out. Britton Watts, he'll take a three off the back of the iron. Rebound, Morgan the third. Pass in transition, and that one sails out. King trying to find Ferris, and that is a turnover that will not make Coach Hamilton and this coaching staff happy.
And I'll give Athletic Director Jeff Mitchell some props for a nice catch down there on the sideline sitting courtside.
Britton Watts, right wing. Mickey Pearson straight away, over to Hill. Step back, thought about a three, pass to Sparks down low. Working on Morgan the third, and he is fouled by Ferris. Another Franklin foul, their fourth of this second half.
Tough matchup for Morgan because he's on 4 fouls, so the help defense has to come. Oh, and he can't do that. Ferris just slapping down on Sparks' left forearm. No chance at getting that ball cleanly. It's a foul every time.
And Sparks is no longer the guy to send to the stripe. 7 of 8 right now. Peyton Sparks, it was a simple conversation between him and Coach Lewis about coming back. He asked, Coach, can I come back for a year? And Coach Lewis just said, yeah, of course you can.
Sometimes that's all it takes.
And in the transfer portal world, you take what you can take, and if it's easy, then you gotta take it. Lynn King, right wing. 13 on the shot clock. Hezzy, and the finish.
King finally gets that ever so elusive first bucket. 0 for 5 before that. And he thought about going up early. Peyton Sparks would have had his number with the rejection, but the hesitation and the touch on the finishing product that time for King.
There's another defensive board for Franklin College. Coming up big when it counts. Morgan the third, great feed down low to Russell. But he forces it out to Cooper Matthews. Great cleanup defense by the Cards. And a block by Sparks, but a goaltend, they will say.
It's just a clear mismatch on the wing that time. And Sparks gets a little bit unlucky. This is a weird goaltend because the ball comes up. It almost looked like it hit the top of the rim and bounced up into the air into the cylinder. I'd have to see it again. But Sparks blocking the ball on the end of the play and once again getting called for the goaltend.
Franklin bringing on the full court press. 8-point game, can you blame him? Mason Jones, Mickey Pearson, easy lay-in.
And that's how you break the press. 101 right there for Ball State. They get across the timeline, 3-on-2, and then Mickey Pearson assesses his passing options. Neither of the two defenders end up on him, and he just goes up strong up top.
Franklin down 10, looking for a response. Morgan the third. Just in front of the arc, past Ferris. He'll cut in, pivot foot on Mason Jones, back out to Matthews. 7 on the shot clock. Pass. Bostic. Shot up. No good. Rebound Sparks.
I love the defense from Ethan Britton Watts with about 7 on the shot clock, coming out high, pressing him on the perimeter and making him make that pass into a tough three-pointer. Cardinals need to really settle in on defense here.
Mason Jones feeds to Sparks on Morgan the third. Waits and finds a shot fouled on the way.
Well, this matchup has certainly turned into a rivalry in recent history, and for more on that, we send it over now for the first time tonight to the third member of our crew, Brayden Carroll. What's up, Brayden?
Guys, these two teams have faced off 70 times since this series began in 1971. There's so much history between Ball State and Bowling Green, but in the last 3 seasons, this rivalry has really been turned up a notch. Since 2021, in every MAC tournament, these teams have dueled, and someone's season has ended. In 2021, Ball State defeated Bowling Green in the MAC championship. In 2022, the Falcons took vengeance over Ball State in the title game, a heartbreaking loss for the the Cardinals. And last season, Bowling Green again defeated the Cardinals, that time in the quarterfinals. Not to mention, all 3 of those matches ended in 5 sets. Heartbreak and grit have defined this rivalry, and both teams surely have the memories of the past etched into their minds to add to the fire of this match tonight. And hey, we get 2 matches this weekend between these 2 squads. What a treat this is going to be. Guys, Ball State fans have grown accustomed to junior Kendall Simon and the defensive impact she's made on this program. But Bowling Green knows the legacy of the name Simon from a different lens. Kendall's sister Callie is a legend at Bowling Green. As a libero, mind you, she was the first ever player in MAC history to win both Player of the Year and Defensive Player of the Year honors in back-to-back years. She holds program records both for digs and digs per set in a season, as well as digs in a career. These 2 have had tremendous careers, and Callie's is set in stone, Kendall's is still blossoming. They've made their parents proud and their programs proud.
Well, we just heard about Delaney Caldwell, but for more on one of Ball State's offensive options, let's send it down to the pitch. Brayden Carroll, how you doing?
Doing great down here, guys. It could be a special day in the history of Ball State soccer and a special day for grad forward Avery Fenchel. She currently sits at 3rd place all-time for career Ball State goals, and she is well on pace for the all-time mark of 30 set by 04 alum Dean Nosero. Not to mention, she would tie for 2nd with a goal today, matching Emily Rain's 27-goal set in 2007. After a special season last year as an All-MAC first-team selection, she can punctuate her unforgettable career with the Cardinals and leave her name in the record books. Back at Briner Sports Complex, Sam Griffin, you guys in the booth, we're talking about Ball State's success in the early goings of this season, but for IU Indy, it's been a bit of an uphill climb. Their 1-5-1 start is their worst start since 2021, and their 6 goals put up in the first 6 matches of the season, 7 matches, is the lowest that they've had in a decade. After going 11-3-5 last season, this slow start for IU Indy has left heads scratching, and a big win needs to be on the horizon before the Jags head into the Horizon League for conference play.
Well, while we've got a bit of a lull, we're going to check in with our guy Brayden Carroll as we're going to pause just to make sure that NIU is able to clean up the dirt here. But we will check in with Brayden. We had that trivia question from you earlier, Brayden. After Friday's win over Eastern Michigan, Northern Illinois clinched its first winning season since what year? I hear you got the answer for us, Mr. Carroll.
The year 2008. That squad went 10-6-5, and just a little foreshadowing, when they played Ball State that year, a 1-0 win for the Huskies.
Well, that looks eerily similar, doesn't it, Brayden, to what we've got right now?
Coach, this team wanted to make amends for the loss at home to Cleveland Forest. Would you say that you've made amends with this victory?
Yeah, I mean, I think we wanted to play well because we were going into the playoffs, and you want to go into the playoffs feeling good about yourself, playing your best soccer. I think there was maybe a relief after winning the game on Wednesday where, you know, you've got the championship out of the way, and so now you can just go out and play free, and I thought they were very good at that tonight.
And there was a lot of adversity in this match with the early red card. You're playing down 1 man the rest of the way. What does it mean to get specifically that type of win, also a win with a lot of reserves getting the start?
Yeah, I think both of those things were important for us. That it's not how I would have wanted the game to go down. I wouldn't have scripted it that way. But the guts and the resilience and kind of just the collective effort that we got out of these guys, even when they were down, that's a lot of work when you're down a man, and just to keep doing it for 90 minutes. And I think we're down a man almost 80 plus minutes, I think, if I'm right on the timing. And that's a lot of work. And I was just, again, so impressed with their ability just to keep going and keep going and keep going. And we didn't just sit in, we kept attacking, which is the most exciting thing for me. We were brave, we played out of the back, we found spaces in behind, and we kept attacking.
So now you have 2 straight wins to end the season. You have the Valley Division Championship. So what's the philosophy heading into the playoffs and the trials that are going to come with having to play so close back-to-back?
You know, the mantra for us over the last, however long I've been here, 4 years, I guess, is we just take it one day at a time. You know, so whatever's on the schedule the next day is the most important thing. We don't look too far ahead. You know, especially in knockout play, you could start, you know, guessing who you're going to play and what the matchup is. And look, at the end of the day, tomorrow's a rest day. Rest is really important this time of year. We've just finished our 3rd game in 7 days, and I think our 4th game in 10 days. It's a really busy stretch. They need some time off, and then we'll get to practice on Monday, and we'll only worry about Monday. And then, you know, Tuesday we'll practice, and Wednesday we'll practice, and Thursday, and then we'll figure out who we're playing against and start getting ready for that one because we'll play on Friday.
Awesome. Thank you, Coach.
Yep, thanks.